Ever wondered why snagging a ticket to your favorite band's concert feels like you're emptying your wallet into a bottomless pit? Well, you're not alone in this high-stakes tug-of-war between your bank account and live music. Enter Pearl Jam, the anthem of the 90s, a band that didn't just play music, but defined a generation. With Eddie Vedder's unmistakable voice and songs that became the soundtrack of rebellion, they were more than just a band, they were a movement. But what happens when rock legends collide with the Goliath of ticket sales? Welcome to the Backstage Vault, where today, we're diving deep into the epic showdown of Pearl Jam versus Ticketmaster. This isn't just a story of a band standing up against the establishment, it's a tale of David and Goliath, where the slingshot is made of guitars, integrity, and a fierce loyalty to fans. Our journey takes us back to a time when Pearl Jam, in their prime, took a stand against skyrocketing service fees and monopolistic control over concert tickets. Why? For the love of the game, and most importantly, for the fans. The stage lights dim, the crowd goes wild, and the story begins in the grungy, electric atmosphere of the early 90s, where flannel was more than just fashion, it was a statement. And leading the charge was none other than Pearl Jam. Emerging from the ashes of Mother Love Bone, Pearl Jam burst onto the scene with their debut album, 10, which not only skyrocketed to fame but also cemented their place as icons of the grunge movement. But Pearl Jam wasn't just about headbanging hits and anthemic choruses, they were the voice of a generation, fiercely dedicated to their fans. Eddie Vedder and the gang were known for their raw, unfiltered performances that connected with the audience on a visceral level. They didn't just perform, they shared a piece of their soul every time they took the stage. On the other side of this rock and roll saga stood Ticketmaster, the colossus of concert tickets. By the early 90s, Ticketmaster had clinched its grip on the ticketing industry, wielding exclusive contracts with major venues and essentially monopolizing the market. With this unparalleled power came the ability to tack on hefty service charges to ticket sales, a practice that left both artists and fans feeling squeezed. The initial friction points between Pearl Jam's ethos of fairness and accessibility and Ticketmaster's business practices were not just sparks but a blazing fire waiting to erupt. Pearl Jam, ever the champions of their fans, balked at the idea that their concerts were becoming less accessible due to ballooning service fees and Ticketmaster's stronghold over ticket distribution. It wasn't long before these tensions came to a head, setting the stage for a David versus Goliath showdown that would go down in the annals of rock history. The conflict escalates as Pearl Jam, riding the waves of their explosive success, notices a disturbing trend: the cost of seeing live music was spiraling out of control, with Ticketmaster's service fees taking center stage in the drama. Imagine, for a moment, the frustration of trying to buy a ticket to see your favorite band, only to find that the price is nearly double what you expected, thanks to these added fees. That's exactly what Pearl Jam and their fans were up against. The band saw this as a direct affront to their core values of fairness and accessibility, a barrier between their music and the people who loved it. Pearl Jam wasn't just irked, they were ready to drop the gloves and take on the ticketing titan. In a bold move that shook the foundations of the music industry, Pearl Jam decided to take action. They weren't content to sit back and watch their fans get priced out of the concert experience. So, they rolled up their sleeves and embarked on an ambitious plan to organize tours that bypassed Ticketmaster altogether, seeking out venues that weren't under the ticketing giant's thumb. This was no small feat. Imagine trying to plan a massive tour without using the main highways, opting instead for the scenic backroads. Pearl Jam's dedication to their fans was clear: they were willing to navigate the trickier path if it meant keeping ticket prices fair. But Pearl Jam didn't stop there. They took their fight to the next level by filing a formal complaint with the U.S. Department of Justice, accusing Ticketmaster of monopolistic practices. This wasn't just a scuffle in the music playground, it was a full-blown legal battle, with Pearl Jam standing up not just for themselves but for every artist and fan caught in the crossfire. Ticketmaster, on the other hand, was not about to take these accusations lying down. The company defended its practices with the tenacity of a seasoned heavyweight, arguing that its service fees were in line with the costs of providing a sophisticated, nationwide, ticket distribution service. They painted themselves as the unsung heroes of the concert world, facilitating access to live music across the country. Ticketmaster's stance was clear: they believed they were the good guys in this narrative, keeping the wheels of the live music industry turning. The battle lines were drawn, and what ensued was a clash of ideals, a war of words and wills that would forever change the way we think about the cost of live music. Pearl Jam's stand against Ticketmaster wasn't just about dollars and cents, it was a fight for the soul of the concert experience, a declaration that music should not be a luxury reserved for those who can afford to overcome arbitrary financial barriers. And so, the saga deepened, transforming the music scene into a battleground for justice and consumer rights. Pearl Jam, armed with guitars and a righteous cause, took on the ticketing titan in a face-off that caught the eye of none other than the U.S. Department of Justice. The air was electric, the stakes were high, and the music industry watched with bated breath as the investigation unfolded. The Department of Justice dug deep, peeling back the layers of Ticketmaster's business practices, while Pearl Jam laid out their case with the passion of a power ballad. The arguments were intense. On one side, Pearl Jam accused Ticketmaster of using its monopolistic power to jack up service fees. On the other, Ticketmaster defended its empire, claiming those fees were necessary for its top-notch service. This legal battle was more gripping than a thriller, with plot twists and turns that kept fans on the edge of their seats. But wait, there's more. The drama escalated to the halls of Congress, where Pearl Jam and Ticketmaster took center stage in a series of congressional hearings that felt more like a rock concert than a legal proceeding. Picture this: Eddie Vedder, rock icon and voice of a generation, swapping his microphone for a testimony, speaking truth to power with the same passion he brings to his music. And there, on the opposing side, Ticketmaster's representatives, armed with legal briefs and corporate speak, defending their kingdom. These hearings were a spectacle, filled with fiery exchanges and heartfelt pleas, highlighting the clash between artistic integrity and corporate profits. As the legal and public battles raged on, the reaction from fans, other artists, and the music industry was a mixtape of support, skepticism, and everything in between. Pearl Jam's fans rallied behind their heroes, seeing them as crusaders fighting for the right to rock without breaking the bank. Other artists looked on, some cheering from the sidelines, inspired by Pearl Jam's stand, while others remained silent, wary of taking on the Goliath that was Ticketmaster. The music industry itself was at a crossroads, forced to reckon with its practices and the future of live music. The outcome? Well, let's just say it was a bittersweet symphony. The Department of Justice investigation eventually ended without filing formal charges against Ticketmaster, but the saga left an indelible mark on the music industry. Pearl Jam's bold stand sparked a wider conversation about ticket pricing, artist rights, and the power dynamics within the music world. Though they didn't topple the giant, Pearl Jam succeeded in shining a spotlight on the issue, paving the way for future challenges to Ticketmaster's dominance. This epic showdown between Pearl Jam and Ticketmaster wasn't just a legal battle, it was a cultural moment, a testament to the power of music as a force for change. Pearl Jam showed that rock and roll isn't just about catchy tunes and electric performances, it's about standing up for what you believe in, even when the odds are stacked against you. They may not have won the war, but they certainly won the hearts of fans and musicians alike, earning a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not just for their music, but for their courage and conviction. As the dust settled on the battlefield, the aftermath of Pearl Jam's clash with Ticketmaster left the music world forever changed. But what of the warriors themselves? Pearl Jam, those grunge titans, emerged not just unscathed but emboldened, their reputation as fan-first rockers solidified in the annals of music history. Their tours, post-Ticketmaster saga, took on a near-mythical status. Opting for unconventional venues and keeping ticket prices as low as possible, Pearl Jam continued to pack stadiums, proving that their bond with the fans was their most prized possession. This battle may have altered their touring logistics, making every concert not just a show but a statement against the corporate machine. Yet, it was this very stand that endeared them even more to a global legion of fans, bolstering their ticket sales through sheer loyalty and respect. But the shockwaves of this David vs. Goliath showdown rippled far beyond Pearl Jam's tour routes. The industry sat up and took notice. While Ticketmaster remained a titan, the saga sparked a broader dialogue about monopolistic practices in concert ticketing. Legislative bodies and regulatory agencies began to scrutinize the ticketing and live event industry more closely, leading to some changes aimed at increasing transparency and fairness in ticket sales practices. While the industry has yet to see a complete overhaul, the seeds of change were sown by Pearl Jam's stand, encouraging a push towards more artist-friendly and fan-accessible ticketing platforms. In the years since, Pearl Jam has continued to champion fair ticketing practices, engaging with newer, more fan-friendly platforms and keeping their concerts as accessible as possible. Their influence can be seen in the actions of up-and-coming bands and established artists alike, who now tread the path Pearl Jam blazed with more confidence and support. So, what's the takeaway from this epic saga? Pearl Jam vs. Ticketmaster wasn't just a fleeting skirmish in the world of rock, it was a pivotal moment that tested the resolve of artists against the might of industry giants. It reminded us that music, at its core, is about connection, not commerce. It's about a band on a stage, fans in the stands, and the unspoken pact between them that no ticketing giant can put a price on. This is the legacy of Pearl Jam, a testament to the power of standing up for what you believe in, the enduring bond between artist and audience, and the undeniable truth that in the heart of rock and roll, there's a rebel spirit that no corporation can quench. And that's the electric tale of Pearl Jam vs. Ticketmaster, brought to you by the Backstage Vault. Let's take a moment to channel the spirit of this epic showdown by supporting fair ticketing practices and artists who make live music accessible to all. Remember, your choices have power. Support venues and platforms that prioritize fairness and the fan experience. Together, we can make a difference in keeping the live music scene vibrant and accessible. Thanks for rocking out with us today. Until next time, this is the Backstage Vault signing off. Keep the music loud and your spirits high.